All right, team, we got snatches today on the Monday. What we're gonna do is play with a snatch complex, then we're gonna follow that up with a partner workout. We'll get to that in a second. We're gonna do a 3-position snatch. So it's gonna be from the top, working our way down. When we go from the high hang, it's helping keeping that bar close as the bar comes up. When we go from above the knee, it helps with shifting the weight back. And then when we go from below the knee, it helps with that first pull off the ground. Deadlift initially, the shoulders stay behind the bar. He dips like a push press, he jumps, and then catch. From here, send the hips back, initiate the bar to above the knee, and then the same position. Try to bypass that first initial high hang position as you jump through. And then the last position will be 1 or 2 inches below the knee. Same, he passes through the high hang and the hang position to get through to his finished position. Notice this high hang, the shoulders stay behind the bar as he dips and jumps. If you're not up to catching it in a full squat snatch today, feel free to turn this into a power snatch complex. But if you can, try to challenge yourself by catching it low. Play with a weight that feels appropriate for you. The whole point of doing a complex like this is not to shift as much load as possible. It's to solidify really good positions. And that's gonna help with, as you pull off the ground, you're gonna be super familiar with all these positions that it feels like second nature.
Did you catch all of that, Julie?
Wait, Julie, quiet. Last week we did 3 sets of 5, any squat variation, so back squat, front squat, or overhead squat. If you don't have access to an area to do Olympic lifting, maybe you've got low ceilings, maybe it's just not suitable for you, feel free to just follow up on what we did last Monday. We did 3 sets of 5. So if you can, try to do that again this Monday. Either increase by 1 rep, so do 3 sets of 6, or if you have access to weights, try to increase the weight and do 3 sets of 5 slightly heavier than last week. Some common errors for the 3-position snatch. Sometimes I see people just trying to rush the lift. It's 3 reps and you should really be focusing on the starting position of each 3 reps. Try not to race through it so you can get that barbell down on the ground. Me personally, I like to bring it back to my hip. I like to reset my shoulder position and then I slowly hang to my set and then jump again. If you try and do that really fast, especially from overhead, you try and bring it down fast and hit that position, it's more than likely gonna pull you onto your toes. So encourage yourself to set back into this position again, pull your shoulders back, eyes up, slow down to the bottom. If your eyes are down, you're probably gonna follow that with your chest. So try your best to pick something up in the horizon, maybe slightly above the horizon level, and project your chest up to that position as well, both with the hanging position and the catching position.
Great shape. The state of my fitness right now.
That's why we have this.
All right, let's see it.
Something that helps me a little bit when I'm snatching is no matter what weight it is, try and approach the bar in the same way. Okay, so whether it's your 1 rep max or a 15 reps of practice with an empty bar, approach the bar the same way. I take 2 steps in, I stamp my feet, I set my left hand, I set my right hand, and then I lift it every single time.
So this is me practicing what I preach. I'm gonna go back to 40 and just clean it up a little bit. I think it looks like shit.
I like doing these. Keeps your lower back nice and warm. I always start with my knee bent, and then as I get more warm, I'll straighten my leg. You're gonna flip around, do them on your front. Roll the straddles, feel a little bit of a stretch through your hamstring, get a little mobility through your thoracic. Reach up to the roof with your toes, if you can try and do it without your hands on the ground, even better. Flip around on your front, pretty active here, so get your elbows off the ground in your W position. Try and keep your forehead just slightly off the ground. I don't want you moving through your lower back, it's just your shoulders keeping your elbows off the ground. Press up to overhead into your Y position. You're gonna do a breaststroke all the way around, touch your hands above your bum. Try and get all the way up into this position here, and then back down and stroke back to your Y position overhead, and then pull strongly back down in this bottom position. Super active through your lats, pulling down as if you're doing a lat pull down. 10 of them, if you're finding them pretty easy, get a light plate in each hand, a 1.5 kilo plate should be fine. Overhead, make sure our elbow pits are pointing up at the roof instead of being rotated in. Keep that bar over your ears, not behind your head, not in front of your head. And we're just gonna go for 3, 2, 1, 1 second pause, and stand quickly. You can see I'm really pressing up as hard as I can. I'm not letting it just sag above my head. Press up hard, 3, 2, 1, pause, stand. 10 reps there, slow, controlled. Should get your shoulders pretty warm.
This is a pressing snatch balance. Elbows go down. You're in a squat stance because we're not going to move our feet. The goal is to keep the bar pretty much where it is, but we move our body under the bar into an overhead squat and then stand up. You're then going to come down to the bottom of an overhead squat. Here's the most perfect overhead squat you've probably ever seen. I'm very tight. And then from there, down to the shoulders, up to overhead. Some things that help me, even though I don't have the best overhead squat, so I'm trying to think about bringing my hips in and under the bar more and avoiding sticking it back as far as I can. Obviously when the bum goes back, more pressure becomes into the shoulders. So hips in, and that will help with at least forcing a little bit of a better position, but I can always be better with this. If you can do it with an empty barbell, awesome. For me, I find I get just as much benefit, or probably more benefit with just doing a broomstick, because our barbell is just a little bit too heavy for me and my shoulder range. Heaving snatch balance. So this time, we're trying to implement some speed into the drill, but still no footwork yet. So the feet is still in a squat stance. The bar is on my shoulders. I'm in a snatch grip position. I still think elbows under the bar and not behind the bar. And I'm going to dip like a push press and then punch under. So just like my pressing snatch balance, I'm still trying to keep the bar no higher than this position here. I'm still pushing down, but I'm just initiating it with a little heave and punch. Try to encourage yourself to move down really fast under the bar. That's the point, because we're not having to think about our feet too much, so you can focus more on the speed down. And that's a really good drill to improve some speed for them snatches to come. The full snatch balance, it's a good continuation from that heave because you've been focusing on that speed. Now we can finally introduce the footwork to that. So you're going to start with your feet directly under your hips. The elbows go under the bar, good posture. Now we focus on that dip, drive, jump and move your feet and punch at the same time. Think about being patient. You still want to finish with your hips before you go down. So it looks like this. I try to over-exaggerate the hip opening. That's the thing that I lack when I start to get into heavy snatches. So if I can really think about enforcing my hip opening with an empty barbell or broomstick, then I know that's going to carry over to as it gets heavier and heavier.
Not sprinting my heart out on those first couple of rounds and trying to hold a consistent pace across the 12 minutes. I tend to blow my load pretty early on workouts like this. That's one-to-one.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Anyway, try and hold pace the whole way.
Yeah, they're all pretty big movements, and it's 21 reps before you get a break, so they are going to be fairly demanding. Let's get it. I think I learned a lot about myself doing snatches and overhead squats because one, I'm not very good, and two, I keep reminding myself that I'm nobody's victim, so it's no one else's fault that I suck so bad at them other than my own. So it reminds me I have to spend a lot of time on my hips and my shoulders, and it does encourage me to be better, especially when I'm not very good at something. We're doing a lot of stretching in the next couple of days, and we'll test and retest and see if it's any better.
Every time I do burpees, I remember I don't like them very much, but then I also think about Andy doing burpees, and I feel like he hates them a little bit more than I do, and he does them every time. So Andy-spiration to keep myself moving. My only goal there was to not put the bar down between the snatches and the overhead squats. Trying to do bigger sets on things and challenge myself a little bit mentally. While I can't really find it within myself to go faster, I'm trying to do more unbroken sets. So challenging myself in a new way rather than just going faster.
If it feels uncomfortable having this at like a right angle, you can slightly angle this foot back towards your back foot, so it's a little bit less aggressive, and then you can spend maybe more time focusing on your hip and less time worrying about any knee discomfort. What really helps me is reaching as far as I can forward when I'm in this position, and then I'm sending more weight over to that left side. If you're having any trouble with motivation, give me a call, give me a message, and we'll try and get you back on track again. We're trying to incorporate this partner stuff so you can rely on a friend or a partner or someone that you're training with to keep yourself accountable. So message out or reach out to anyone that you find might be struggling, or you know that they'll put a bit more intensity in if they're with someone else. If you need to borrow a barbell, give me a message and we can open up Dux Fit and you can grab the bar and take it out onto the grass. Hit it with some intensity today, work on some technique or work on a weakness. I'll see you on the next one.